Hello everyone, you have started watching Code with Abby. We have talked a lot about AI on this channel, from how prompts work, to how LLMs understand context, to the magic behind prompting techniques. But have you ever wondered what actually happens when you type a prompt into an AI model and get that instant intelligent response? In this video, we are going to break down that hidden process step by step, from the moment you press enter to how the model understands your words, finds meaning, and finally creates a response. We will talk about how text becomes tokens, how those tokens turn into embeddings, how the model uses self-attention to make sense of everything, and how it generates your final answer one word at a time. And why are we learning this? Because this understanding is the foundation of what comes next. We are going to come up with another topics which are related to RAG, and especially RAG pipeline, which really requires this knowledge base, where we will see how external knowledge is added to make AI ever smarter. So stay tuned. Let's dive in and explore how large language models really work, from your prompt to their response. Let's try to understand from prompt to response how LLMs actually work behind the scene. What happens when you type in your prompt into any of the LLM's prompt? So when you enter a prompt, the LLM tokenizes that. So we will learn what tokenization is. So it tokenizes your text into smaller units and then converts into numerical embeddings. These embeddings pass through multiple transformer layers where attention mechanism is used to predict the most likely next tokens based on the context. And finally, the model decodes the tokens back into text and then generates the output for you. Doesn't it look like a magic? Let's go and dive more into this one by one. What are the steps? The step first is tokenization, which we call it as tokenize, embeddings, self-attention, prediction, and response generation. What is tokenization? Tokenization is the process of breaking down your input into a smaller piece called tokens, which can be short as single character or as long as a word, depending upon what the design of the model. For example, we have taken a prompt called LLMs are smart. This is a prompt. So this prompt will be divided into tokens like LLMs are smart. So you see here, computers since cannot understand the word directly, they understand the numbers. So what happens, each token is mapped to a unique numerical ID from the model vocabulary. So each model has got its own vocabulary. So let's say if it is ChatGPT, Gemini, or other models, each one will have its own vocabulary. Okay. So for example, if your prompt is LLMs are smart, so LL has got some value, M's has got some value, R has got some value, and smart has got some value. And in this way, it prepares a set of all tokens. So in this way, your entire prompt sentence becomes a sequence of number like 3142, 51545, 558, 9921. Make sense? And then comes embedding. What happens in embeddings? So embedding, once your text is tokenized, which we have seen in previous steps, and each one has got a token ID, the model doesn't work directly with those numbers. Then instead, each token is converted into vector of real numbers. This is called embeddings. So token, when gets converted into vector of real numbers, this is called embedding. Think of embedding as a mathematical meaning of words. So they capture relationships here. For example, king and man plus queen becomes woman, that becomes a queen. Dog and puppy are the closed words here. Each token ID is passes through an embedding matrix and a giant table is prepared. In embeddings, representing words as the points in a space, imagine drawing a big map like a coordinate system, and every word is a dot on the map. If two words have similar meanings, their dots will be closer, but if they have different meanings, they will be far apart. For example, cat, dog, tiger are close, so their dots will be closer, but car and bus also will be closer, but if it is sun and car, then it will be far apart because they both are not similar or not matching. So, embedding is just like those coordinates, a long list of numbers that describe where a word lives in this space. Example, if cat has got some vector representation like 0.4, 0.7, 0.3, 0.9, dot, dot, dot. So dogs embedding representation will be little closer to it. For example, dogs is 0.4, so it becomes 0.5, 0.7, then 0.8, 0.3, then 0.8 is closer. But if it is apple, it is far apart because it is not closer to dog or cat. So if you see that matrix of apple, this is 0.9 versus 0.4, and then like it is far apart. Make sense? So understands what the model learns from embedding. Model learns many things. It learns synonyms. It learns analogy, like king is man. If it is added with the woman, then it becomes queen. It also understands the sentiments. For example, terrible versus amazing. Let's take an example of embeddings in real life. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you to projector.tensorflow.org, and I would like to show you this in real time. So this TensorFlow embedding projector is a visual tool that helps use what embeddings look like. Since embedding are just list of numbers, sometimes hundreds of them, it's hard to understand them directly. So this tool will give you a 3D or 2D visualization of that thing. So let me take you to projector.tensorflow.org and show you this. So I'm back in projector.tensorflow.org, and you see this is a model, and wherein we can see all the words here flowing in 3D. And if I want to stop, I'll click it here just to show you. And if I'm clicking it here, and then I want to show you these two little words, this is capacitor and animo. But if I want to show this word, that is called QWERTY, and this is runways. So both are quite far apart. If I see novelist and then footballer. But if I want to show you the close words like this one, sonata and cello. So sonata and cello are the two products which are similar, which are making sense. So they are closer here. Likewise, let's take this example, GB and CM. So they are measuring units. So they are closer here. So you can visualize these things like if words representing or the matters representing similarity, so they will be closer. But if they have different meanings, so they will be farther or far apart in the matrix. Make sense? The next step is self-attention. Self-attention lets every word in sentence look at every other word and decide how much it should pay attention to each one when building its own understanding. Instead of reading left to right, model asks for each word, which other word mattered to me right now. So instead of not considering that left to right or right to left sequence, it picks up the most appropriate word based of matrix, and then it captures the relationship, which is which pronoun used for which noun. It gives the model context-aware word meaning. Some word can mean different things, so it gives this model this whole thing. It's the core mechanism that makes transformer powerful. And the last step in the sequence is response generation. Once the self-attention is done, then finally it is response generation. taking the input text and which you give as a form of prompt, and then predicting the word which is possible based on your prompt and giving the meaningful answer to you is called response generation. You can think of it like autocomplete, but with understanding, reasoning, and context. So this can be a sequence, tokenization, embeddings, context understanding using self-attention, prediction, iteration, and decoding. So this is decoding can be that response generation. Imagine you are writing an essay. First, I will write sentence based on what I have written. It uses learned possibility from massive training data, and it does not copy sentence. So it generates new text based on the pattern it has learned. Few things that we need to learn in response generation: sampling versus greedy decoding. So greedy is always pick the most likely next token. Sampling is sometimes chooses less likely as well, and temperature is how random the output is. Context window is need to be understood here. It is a window that a model can see a fixed number of tokens at a time. For example, 8K, 16K, 128K, etc. All tokens beyond this are forgotten. So there is a window, and that window only the LLMs can memorize. That is called context window. Fine-tuning and reinforcement. ChatGPT is trained further to give helpful, safe, conventional replies using RLHF. That is called reinforcement, learning from human feedback. So that's the journey from your prompt to AI's response, a fascinating flow of tokenization, embeddings, attention, and generation. Now that you understand what happens inside an LLM, you are ready for the next big step. Learning how we can make these models even smarter with RAG pipelines, where AI doesn't really rely on what it knows, but also pulls information from the real world. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming deep dive into RAG and other amazing AI concepts. And hey, drop a comment if you have a topic you would love to see next. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring. This is Abby signing off. See you in the next. Bye-bye.